In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Bubble's error handling features. These features basically let you override Bubble's system messages whenever your user encounters an error with your app. So an example of this would be logging in a user with an incorrect password. So I have this login form here with an email, and then I'm just going to type in some random characters there for the password field. When I hit login, it will run the login action, but because I didn't type in the right password, Bubble's showing me this system message saying, hey, sorry, that's not the right password. So there are some error handling features here that I'm going to show you that will let you override this message so that you can customize this response a lot more for your users. So the first thing to know is under the Settings tab and then under Languages, you'll see a big list here of application texts and messages. These are all of the possible system messages that Bubble can display whenever a user runs into an error. Now I do have a few more here than you would with a brand new app because I have the Stripe plugin installed, so there are also some Stripe related messages here. But for the one that I just showed you with the wrong password, let's go to that error message here. So when the password is incorrect, then it will display this message right there. Sorry, that's not the right password. So Bubble will display that by default. And you can edit this message here. But what we're going to be working with is actually overriding that entire dialog altogether. So what you want to take note of is the code here under the error itself. So for an incorrect password, the code will be wrong_password with the words in all caps. So we'll take note of this. So then if we go into the Workflow tab, you have two different events available to you for error handling. The first one is under the General Events right here, an unhandled error occurs. Okay, so this will be triggered when an unhandled error occurs. And you want to create a condition for this event, and you're going to use the current workflow errors code. Okay, so this is where you're going to type in the code that you find in the Languages tab. So again, wrong password is the one that I want to use here for this example. So when the current workflow errors code is wrong_password, then I can have the app override that system dialog and do whatever else I want. I can show a pop-up, I can navigate the user to a different page, I can do anything. So for demonstration purposes, I'll show an alert message here. So I'll add an alert element and I'll say, please try your password again. Okay, and I'll put it right here by the password input. Okay, so when that unhandled error event is triggered, only when the code is wrong password, then we will show this alert message, my please try your password again message. Okay, so let's try logging in one more time with an incorrect password. We're going to see that we're going to actually bypass that system dialog and instead show the alert message. So I'll log in here with the random password. Okay, and now I see this instead of the bubble message. So this way you can super customize your user's experience when you're working with error scenarios. The other option you have here is under the elements event type, you have this event here, when an element has an error running a workflow. So the only difference here is that this will only be triggered when a specific element is involved. So let's say you have two different login forms on your page, but you only want the alert message to show when one of those login buttons is displayed, not running into the error in general. So I can say only specifically when my login button is clicked, and again when my workflow errors code is wrong password. Then I can do the same. I'll just grab this alert message here and show that. So they're very similar in what they do, but the element one is so that you can restrict this entire workflow sequence to only happen when a specific button or input is involved, when a specific button or input triggered the error. That way it's not a catch-all global response to an error that might happen from multiple sources on your app. So that's just it. This really depends, which one you use really depends on how you want to control the conditions for this response message. All right, and that's pretty much how you set this up. So again, under settings and then languages, you can come in here and review all of the system messages that are available to you. Anytime you get a system bubble message that shows up there, you're going to be able to find it here in this list. So to overwrite it, you just need to take note of the code so that you could enter that into the workflow condition. Also, you know, obviously you do have the ability to just change the message if you want to make it a little bit more personal, but you don't mind the way that the bubble message dialog box looks. That works too. And this is super useful when you have Bubble's Stripe plugin installed, because there are a lot of opportunities to run into errors, especially when, you know, entering credit card information is involved, or working with a marketplace environment where you're registering sellers, when you're transferring money, when you're entering amounts. There are many more messages here that you can work with and have everything more customized to your app instead of these generic messages that are coming off of the browser window. This is a pretty straightforward setup. It doesn't take too long to do, so I highly recommend you take advantage of this feature. It will add a lot of value to your user's experience. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching.